Well, good afternoon. Here we are. Justice's waiting room currently sitting at, oh wow, 730 subscribers right now. We're up 364 new subscribers in the last 4 weeks, which again is 20 more subscribers than we had before we started. Keep in mind, one of the things I was sharing with my wife is that, hey, one of the interesting things is that I've actually had a YouTube channel and been creating content for more than a decade, so it's not much, but there's like 10 years worth of work. So for the record, this is the link to the show. Okay, so I'll put that in the chat. Good afternoon, by the way. Welcome. Okay. So what we do here is a 90-minute show where we talk about current events and politics. Hey, Lori. And then, hey, every time I go live, I'm going to post a reminder on Blue Sky as a reminder. There's my name. Wait, it didn't take copy. That's the where we are now. There's my name and how to find me on Blue Sky. Yeah, me too. So it's part of the reason I've gone live is because nothing was going on. uh, I figure we'd be talking about it and some would pop. It's kind of what I had in mind. So here's our post for the show. Kind of letting everybody know. Uh, so I don't know about you, but especially after Mark Zuckerberg went to Mar-a-Lago after he lost a court case and gave $1 million to Donald Trump. I don't use Facebook, so that means no IG, no Threads. I lurk on Twitter. So again, on Twitter, I'm likely alien. So you'll see this. Yeah, it is like crickets today. So again, that's part of the reason I went live. But I was like, okay, nothing's going on. If I was having some anxiety about stuff, I would appreciate someone going live so I had someone to vent to. Yeah, yeah, I blacked out my photos. I don't post there anymore. Every now and then I might say something, but it's gonna be like strictly business, football. I'm not even posting my show. Because I don't honestly, I don't want anyone else that I know to come show their ass. To be honest with you, I stopped posting on social media because I was tired of losing people. And I suppose to some degree, it's like you should have it out with everybody, right? But I was talking with my wife about this. Because of technology, we've seen shit we were never supposed to see, and nearly every day, I'm reminded of that. Like we witness and things are tougher than we'll ever admit. But yo, check this shit out. So I don't normally like involve kids. I don't know why that was so long. Will that even take me to the right spot? Okay, it did take me to that. All right, so check this out. Obviously, another instance of Elon Musk using his son as a shield, right? But listen at his child, because you know how kids are. They just repeat what they hear the parents say. Hey, we already got 8 people in here for the show, so thank you everybody. Um, no, like I stopped following my brother's business. Mainly, like I said, stop associating with my mom, and it's just kind of unfortunate when you find out the people that you thought cared about you have absolutely no thoughts. Like I thought you cared about me, and it turns out you don't even think. You just do. Um, and like in the instance of my mom, I hate to be that way, but my mom will die alone with that AR in her hand and not a goddamn thing else. And again, I'll have said long before that to melt that down and turn it into a spade so you can grow a garden and keep yourself alive, and she won't. I've tried to tell her like things are gonna get tough. You're gonna want help. Grow a garden. Turn that AR into a spade. You're more likely to be able to use it. Because you're not gonna defend yourself. You're never gonna be ready in a prepared shooting position when something happens. Yeah, especially dangerous to have an AR. But yeah, so the link I shared was Elon Musk's son saying they'll never know over and over again. And then Elon Musk saying, "Yeah, I think it's done." By the way, so yeah, people thinking, yo. By the way, I don't know if anybody caught that. At the end of the show, end of the first show, I shared, yo, did you see this Alex Bruzowitz collapsing, talking about the impeachment of Donald Trump? And usually, like when you collapse like this, it's stress. It's stress related. Well, why are they under so much stress? They won, right? They're over there sweating it out. So I got caught going on the rabbit hole here. I was kind of looking. So, ladies, especially ladies, look at this video of Kamala Harris. Okay. It's at the end of a speech, looking at her eyes and her body language. Yeah, I don't know. It looks like she's trying to hold her tongue. And y'all saw Bernie's reaction, right? So let's get that up here. Yeah. Hey. Oh jeez. They already swiped it. Yo, check it. I'm trying to get video. Oh fuck. I can't find it now, y'all. I was looking for video of Bernie getting asked about drones. How much longer can that lady hold her tongue for? No shit. Lori, did she not look like she had way more to say than that? The little rub of the eye and the smile after it looked like she was about to burst. Am I reading that wrong? And then somebody pointed out that Joe Biden and Kamala Harris have each said not going anywhere for about the last 2 weeks. So for the record, remember how I told you I thought that I made a little motivational speech this morning and it got fucking deleted? Not deleted, banned or whatever. It didn't. It's just and I don't expect all my content to hit. That's not why. Just very happy, very calm. Yeah, I've been saying, like, if I were handing the keys of democracy over to Donald Trump, I would not be able to contain myself. Mama looks great. Yeah. But like I said, we live in a world that needs constant instant gratification. And I've been, since I got on here, talking about the wheels of justice. They turn slowly, and I was concerned. Part of the reason I got on here is because I was concerned with people putting the wrong emphasis on the wrong syllable. You know what I mean? Like, running out and starting to protest, and it's like, hold on, like, you want to put your eggs in the right basket. And it's not that I want to, like, lead a protest. It's just I would rather see us do it when we know for a fact. Like, I'm thinking after January 6th is probably like a good time if something fucked up happens between now and then. But again, I'm as far as how I feel like, listen, the thing that I saw, like, there's no way. For example, this thing with the FBI, with needing to investigate Elon Musk's kid, who's saying they'll never know. She does look rested and ready. So you obviously can't investigate little kids, Jared, but it's interesting because kids repeat what they hear. They'll never know. But yeah, we did hear, we did. I don't know if it's been confirmed yet, but I did see a report that Joe Biden's being pushed to look into how in the world could Elon Musk predict the outcome of an election 4 hours before it was called. Somebody posted that they were calling states with only 13% of the vote. I'm still very suspicious about the election. Oh shit. I haven't been reading the chat. When did this come out? November 4th, 2024. Holy shit. Somebody posted this in our Discord. So let's talk about this from 2000. This is from November 4th, friends. Okay. DNI, Department of National Intelligence. Okay. Director of National Intelligence. Okay. This is from November 4th. Okay. I'm gonna read it until I get bored, okay? Today and this is November 4th. This is the day before the election. So it's relevant. Today, the Office of the Director of National Intelligence, the Federal Bureau of Investigation, and the Cybersecurity and Infrastructure Security Agency, CISA, released the following statement. So, for the record, this was, remember, this would be after Joe Biden and several of these agencies made a statement a month out and said, "Hey, we're seeing a Russian attempt to influence our elections." So understand, this is between the election and that original notification. So understand, a month out, a similar thing, a similar statement. Since our statement on Friday, the IC has been observing foreign adversaries, particularly Russia, conducting additional influence operations intended to undermine public confidence in the integrity of U.S. elections and stoke divisions among Americans. The IC expects these activities will intensify through Election Day and in the coming weeks, and that foreign influence narratives will focus on swing states. Russia is the most active threat. Influence actors linked to Russia in particular are manufacturing videos and creating fake articles to undermine the legitimacy of the election, instill fear in voters regarding the election process, and suggest Americans are using violence against each other due to political preferences, judging from information available to the IC. These efforts risk inciting violence, including against election officials. We anticipate Russian actors will release additional malfunction manufactured content with these themes through the election day and in the days and weeks after the polls close. So, hey, just thought that was interesting to share. So that's the link there in the chat. Thanks to Pixel and Pieces there. DMS starts 20 main 2 and 20. Oh man, we're gonna have to wait at all. So let's go to this link here. This is about 13.848. Okay. Apparently there's a character limit. All right. So let's see if this goes to the right place. Okay. It takes you to the right place. Notably, this was the day after. So this is That second link there, friends, is to a Director of National Intelligence press release the day December 21st, 2018. Okay? That's interesting. Also, like I've said, that's a Saturday, and that's the only reason that I'm suggesting Monday would be a better day to release all this information. Also, typically, historically, Monday's kind of a slow news day. So if I was going to do something fucking big, I'd do it on a fucking Monday. Because holy shit. Yes, they have. Yes, they have. Lori said Russia's been nothing but a pain in our ass since forever. Okay. Let me, because I can share this, right? I'm looking at our chat here. So make sure you hit up our Discord. Okay. There are 16 people in here. Love y'all. So hey, make sure that you drink water, touch grass, get 8+ hours of sleep, take care of yourself. Okay. So interesting. But yeah. Great links. Pixels, whoever that is. Great links. Late to the party again. Hours getting started. Been going for about 20 minutes. There's a couple links in there that are pertinent, that are important. It's important to kind of have that in your tool belt. One of them is from the day before the election from the desk of the Director of National Intelligence, Joanne. Okay, so one of them is a notice the day before the election. It was like, "Hey, Russian actors, keep in mind, a month before the election, the president and a bunch of them 3-letter agencies, they all put out a notice that said, "Hey, Russian actors." So this is the day before the election. That's a new one I didn't know before. So now there's 2 notifications before the election that they knew. Mm-hmm. 2 notifications before the elections that they knew. Not, I wouldn't say they knew. Yeah, they knew. They knew. They were saying like we're seeing Russian interference in our election. Okay, and then Brasher's picks. Good, thanks, B. All right, and then the second link from Brasher here was from another notice from the director, from the desk of the Director of National Intelligence, the day after the report is due. They also said that in that case the 21st was a Friday. So hey, I'm expecting fireworks on Monday. Hey, I would love to sit here and tell you with my full chest expect them people to put a notice out on Saturday. I would love to tell you that, especially being so close to the holidays. And I'm guessing everybody's working from home. I can't imagine there's too many copies of all these reports. That's one thing I'm scared about is who's gonna get a hold of this stuff first. You know, like I said, there's no fucking way. There's no way. By the way, you want to talk about what we're not gonna see? That that notification duplicated. That's for sure. I'm 100% confident in that. Plugh. Sorry. That notice from December 21st, 2018, that's like a half a page long. It says we didn't find anything. Yeah, don't think so. Don't think so. Yeah, hey everyone. Good afternoon. Second show of the day. Oh, just so you know, because I'm sure you're wondering like what else does dude do? So my wife had a doctor's appointment today. She had to go to the radiologist. So I went live basically, and she left, and then she came back home, and naturally want to check on your spouse, like eat lunch, um, play a little video games, do a little more research, and then as Lori kind of pointed out, how it's kind of calm, how it's kind of quiet. That's part of the reason I got back on is because I was like, maybe something will happen kind of while we're chatting here. And as I've said, one of the things that some kind of cements how I feel about how these drones are government drones. Um, Donald Trump's telling his ilk to engage the drones, and so is Marjorie Taylor Greene saying shoot down the drones. And I think when you've got and keep this in mind, Marjorie Taylor Greene, I again I think she got caught in a post and delete situation where she and it might still be up if somebody wants to look while I'm talking. Marjorie Taylor Greene tweeted out, "The government knows what's going on with these drones, and they're not telling you." She's an elected official. She is the government. What are you talking about? And again, the reason I bring that up is because I've been saying, didn't she get removed from all committees and stuff like that? And they're not. For second press conference in Florida? Yeah. Yeah, there was a press conference in Florida. Not great. Here's yeah. There's him answering a question about drones. Sorry, it's not the whole thing. Hmm. Hey, this is interesting. New organization, hand count the ballots. Okay. Looking to remove election machines. And of course, Vladimir Putin's playing the victim, saying Russia's defense minister said on Monday that Moscow must be ready to fight NATO military alliance in Europe in the next decade, as President Vladimir Putin said he believed the Ukraine war was turning in Moscow's favor, which is how you know that's not happening. And Andrei Belousov, Putin's defense chief, cited a NATO summit in July and military doctrines in the U.S. and other NATO members as evidence that Moscow had to prepare for direct conflict with a more assertive NATO in the coming years. Cited U.S. plans to modernize its nuclear forces, the opening of a U.S. missile defense base in Poland, new NATO combat readiness plans and out of same. He said U.S. could have hypersonic missiles that could reach Moscow in 8 minutes. That's awesome. Hmm. Interesting. And also, you said Germany crashed, huh? Interesting here. German far-right leader says Germany should reconsider its membership in NATO if the US-led military alliance did not consider the interests of all European countries, including Russia. Interesting. Interesting. What do you mean Germany crashed? Germany Schultz has lost the confidence vote, paving the way for a snappy election. Government collapsed in November in a budget dispute, but his coalition had been unsteady for months. Lost the vote. Seven parties in Germany there. No wonder they're having trouble, huh? Wild time to be alive, right? So yeah, we're still growing here. We're officially 725 subscribers on YouTube. So hey, thanks everybody. We've got 364 new subscribers in the last month, and that is 20 more than we had. I only had 344. I have 364 since we started. So hey, thanks. Uh, let's see here. Yeah, I did find this interesting. Assad flew $250 million into Russia when they fled Russia when they fled Syria. And y'all saw this morning. Okay, I would point to this. What you talking about in Germany? That no confidence vote. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's what I heard. Pull up to work, can't view it now. Sure. So here's the link about Tech channels. I'm gonna make a new channel called Show Links. Okay. So in Show Links, there's Assad flies $250 million into Russia, fleeing Syria, and then before that, it was the Schultz loses a no confidence vote. This is the collapse of the uh, German government. And then what was shared with us already in our show links were uh, the two links to the ODNI, the Office of the Director of National Intelligence. That what we just saw. So thanks Brasher a lot for showing us those. We're gonna see probably formatted a lot like that. Sometime around. Sorry, Dion. The 21st to 23rd. It looks like. I think that's a reasonable expectation. So let's see. Apparently there was a but what time is it? Jeez. 2 hours ago, there's a school shooting in Madison, Wisconsin at a Christian school. For the record, I think we talked about my politics. Obviously, as many of you know, I call myself a socialist, and that just means that I want everyone to have universal health care, education, income, and housing, which I don't feel is an extreme view, especially not in light of all the full-blown fascists who are threatening to dismantle social safety nets, who are threatening to take away people's retirement. I don't feel like that's a wild position anymore. That also said, people have asked, like, how do you feel about the Second Amendment? And as I've said, one of the things that I have, or I try to live with, is a great deal of empathy. And when I make content and I tell people that it's a matter of national and international security and you're in danger, I would be fucking crazy to say, and I don't think you should be able to defend yourself with a firearm. Doesn't make sense for me to tell you that you're in danger, especially if you don't look like me, and then in the same breath tell you that I think you ought to defend yourself without a use of a firearm. So I'm not necessarily like pro gun, but I am like, die on your shield is kind of yeah, is that not the wildest shit you've ever heard, Joanne? Yeah, she was pointing out Greg Abbott trying to get a new law passed where you can't sell luggage to women. Yeah. Jesus. We talked about this morning, where North Korea fired on Russia, right? Uh, I thought we saw 8. How do you even airlift 200 million? Hate being in Texas now. He's a freaking nut job. Jeez. 30 North Korean soldiers killed. Banned chemical weapons. By the way, I just realized this, and I don't know if they're American citizens, so it's but Donald Trump's like a white supremacist, and he vows to like hire American and shit. But like, is Kash Patel, Elon Musk, like, aren't these people not Americans? Am I making sense? I don't know much about Kash Patel. Is Kash Patel an American citizen? Lawyer, previously served. He's born in Garden City, New York. Yeah. University of Richmond. I'm reading. Indian immigrant parents. Interesting. Pace University School of Law. Anyway, so he's talking about hiring, like hiring American, but like Cash Patel's parents were immigrants, right? And then obviously, you know how I feel like, especially if you're a white person, you are the immigrant. You know what I mean? Um, whole world seems to be on fire. Don't I feel like it though? But one of the things I was thinking about today is how many big events have happened after Joe Biden's been to that country, like Brazil, like uh, Joe Biden goes to China, shakes hands with Xi Jinping, and then within the week, China says they're disappointed in North Korea's involvement in Russia. And again, North Korea, I thought they were like supposed to be a strong military, but the report again, and that's something we've gone over here. North Korean troops arrived in Russia and were malnourished and had to be retrained or trained up before they could be forward deployed. And that's a bad thing if you're Russia and you're getting troops from somebody that ain't ready, right? So, but Ramaswamy, Patel, Musk, Teal, like immigrant, all these are people are immigrants or sons of immigrants. And he's supposed to be like a white supremacist, such backwards ass shit. And if you didn't see it earlier, I actually thought this was like good news of the day. Filthy cute in our Discord said, "I'm so sick of this," in terms of the school shooting. Yep, I am too. As I've said before, if all the people that didn't look like me weren't in so much fucking danger all the time, I would be staunchly against the Second Amendment. I would say turn it into a spade or a shovel. You're more likely to need it and use it. But with everybody being in danger, it's kind of crazy. No, no, they're not American. And yeah, Elon Musk sticking to his guns about tariffs, by the way. All the way to the end, man. All the way to the end. Oh, and what was pointed out by Brasher earlier, who went down the rabbit hole regarding Executive Order 13848, it looks like there's 45 days to submit the initial report, then an additional 45 days, then an additional 30 days. Yeah. That's what I was saying, Logan. It's just weird because Donald Trump's talking about hiring American, and all of the people that he's involved with are not American. Right? David Sachs, Elon Musk, Peter Thiel, South Africans. Right? Patel, Ramaswamy. And again, American citizens, even by birth, Kash Patel. Elon's brother owns a drone company. That's right. Takes us to March. And you're saying, like, the administration doesn't change over during this period? Or Donald Trump would be president pending an investigation? But if Elon gets charged, it'd be so wild. So wild. Yeah, no, I'm just going to be honest with you. I know they're looking into this because of logic. Oh, they have to be. There's literally a law, brother. Yeah, Logan, there's Executive Order 13848. It literally requires every relevant agency. So, and think about, there are shit that we, yeah, admin stays in place, is what I thought. Here's the thing. National emergency. That's what I thought. They're gonna get it right. We need a new election system. That's part of the reason I think Kamala Harris went to Hawaii. Army Cyber Command could help her figure out, can, like the U.S. Army, for example, could they become the bearers of the torch when it comes to elections? Could the Army Cyber Command figure out what is the best way for 175 million people to vote, and them come up with a system in a week or 10 days while she's out there? Because again, one of the things that I want to keep saying is I think we need to revote. I think we need to revote and it not be Starlink, ePollBook, all those entities that are compromised. The 400,000 even because I'm looking as a human, like they don't know one will ever vote for them again. I'm looking at this perspective of a voter. Yeah, no fucking shit, Logan. Yes, I'm 100%. There's a reason. There's a reason I'm sitting here, and while our show, think about this, brother. There's 20 fucking people in here. Thank you so much for being here. Remember, friends, drink water, touch grass, get 8+ hours of sleep, take care of yourself. The reason that I started doing this is because with it, like I said, I've only ever felt like that one other time. Like I felt on election night. I felt like I got my fucking soul stolen from me. And like I said, within 24 hours, I saw the look on AOC's face, and I knew they know. And I have felt like everything that they have done has been cold and calculating ever since. And again, the loudest and most wrong person ever, Donald J. Trump, for 72 hours after the election was fucking silent. JD Vance has basically disappeared. The first time I've seen JD Vance since the election was at the Army-Navy game on Saturday. In that fucking suite. That paired with some information that started to come to me. This country is about ready to split between two parties. One of the things that I like pointing out is the facts. Before you consider that Donald Trump cheated in this election, he only got 40% of the electorate to vote for him. So only 40% of people eligible to vote for Donald Trump did. The overwhelming majority did not. Okay. Also, he only got about a 24%, so less than a quarter of the population of the United States to vote for him. 77 million by 335 million is where we are now. And that's before you consider the fact that he cheated. Again, by millions of votes nationwide. So I'm guessing that instead of this being like a 50-50 election, it was more like a 60-40. I don't know. So that again, Brasher at this point knows more than I do about uh, prosecuting election crimes and the Executive Order 13848. The understanding that I have that I try to make it into the shortest sentence possible. That way no one can ever say that you were just being verbose. And I've just been saying EO 13848 makes election crimes triable by the DOJ, as outlined by the prosecuting election crimes document. Brasher said, I think it's over for them. Brasher is even more confident than I am because they're even more well read on this than I am. Okay. Yeah, I am live, by the way. But yeah, I want to thank everybody. Like I said, I started the show. Read the Voter Reform Act on .gov. Noted. I will. Voter Reform Act. And post this link. Posting this link in our chat too. Okay. So it's in our show links. It's in our understanding the electoral. This came out September 18th, by the way. The same day. Now I have this old lady taking notes. This is what the news should be doing, Lori. You should be able to watch the news, be in the chat while the news is on. You should be able to ask a question. Hey, where'd you get that information? They should be required to provide their source, and you evaluate for yourself whether what they're saying is true or not, and we can continue. That's how the news should be reported. Is this information is accurate per this correct source? Yeah, I'm with Logan. Well, I think both things are going to happen. So one of the things that I've come to understand is, and you can you can dream up any of the charges you want coming off of EO 13848, and unless it overturns the election, yeah, there's so much protection prior to, between now and then. Yes. And the thing about it is, one of the things that I've said this whole time is I'm not a lawyer, and I don't know what I'm talking about. Just so everyone understands. Like I have said from moment one, I don't have all the answers. I just got some fucking questions. You know what I mean? So now we're learning. Now we're getting a high level learning here. Uh, Electoral Count Reform Act S 4573-1. Here's the actual bill itself. Yeah, January 6th is the final check and balance. I don't think you'll ever get there. I'm reading. It's the revising of the 2016 just it was passed in 2018. 117th Congress. Which is what happened. CC's lineup. Yeah. Agree. Brasher, and that makes my birdies right. I'm telling you, I had the best leaks. Which is what happened. How did it happen? How do we fix it? What do you mean? So it's about the election software. Ultimately, you got to get rid of it all. E-poll books can no longer be connected to Starlink. Voting machines cannot be connected to the internet for tabulation. None of that shit. Um, yeah, that didn't happen in 2016. That process those questions right. Remember, they didn't find fraud. Data analytics did not find fraud in 2016. They found it in 2020, but it wasn't enough to swing the election. If you remember, I believe it was in Pennsylvania. Didn't somebody vote like 5 times or some shit? Um, and here in 2024, that same data analyst, his name is Steven Spoonamore. His hair's been on fire, man. He called it within 24 hours. Like he said exit polling didn't match. And for the record, some of the exit polls that came out initially have turned out to be wrong. That's why I want to fire DeJoy. Joanne, my mom delivered mail. But yeah, Postmaster DeJoy loses his job. They put somebody in there actually knows what they're doing. The mail gets back to being run correctly, and I think you can send everybody a ballot. I promise you, Donald Trump is more unpopular than he's ever been. The approval rate for Obamacare is higher than it's ever been. If there were ever a moment in time where you could re-vote and get the correct result, like find out what people actually voted for without any impact, you've got to do it suddenly and unannounced. Really, just a letter or an email, like a letter is probably better. But the problem is if you don't tell people to go check their fucking mail, you're going to have a bunch of people that don't get their mail in a timely fashion. But I can definitely, I've been saying all along, NATO Article 4, Article 5, wartime powers. Now this, I'm finding out from Brasher here that, well, Executive Order 13848 paired with the prosecuting election crimes document gives not only 45 days, but additional 45 days after that, an additional 30 days after that. That pushes this administration all the way out until March with this existing administration just to investigate. Finalize your investigation and finalize charges. Obamacare have the ACA. Oh my God, Julie. Let me explain. Let me explain how many people I got to talk to in a 5-year career selling Medicare that they were like, I'm signing up for Medicare. They're in the process of getting it. And you're like, yep. And they're like, anything but this goddamn Obamacare. And I'm like, oh yeah? And they're like, yeah, I've heard this, there's this Affordable Care Act. I'm just going to switch over to that. And then when I get Medicare, and I'm just like, you understand you were talking about healthcare.gov twice, for the record. Obamacare and the Affordable Care Act are the same thing, but they're also equal to healthcare.gov. So there are people that are like, I don't want Obamacare. I'm not going to healthcare.gov, that later have to go to healthcare.gov to get to the Affordable Care Act. Did you guys see Steve Bannon's already saying Donald Trump can run again in 2028? That's assuming he lost here. Oh, fuck. I don't know if I could handle it. Another 4 years of, I just think, his name's tattoo is so ridiculous, yeah. Yeah, it was pretty sad when, yeah, I got sad. I was like, that's fucking sad too. When Obamacare was announced, people were like skeptical. But if you like listen to the presentation, like healthcare.gov is a one-stop shop for you and your family for all your insurance needs. All you have to do is log on today, and you can be looking at healthcare in 30 seconds from a range of providers in your area that your doctors work with. Act like I don't have that fucking commercial memorized. But yeah, because I wanted to help people with their healthcare. Once I got into insurance. Mm. Also, I think I'm being ghosted. So I was supposed to start a job on January 1st. I was supposed to help someone start a new Goosehead agency, which is, I've wanted to do that. It's fucking great. I would love to help. They're ghosting me. I'm pretty sure. I'm leaving my mind open. Not gonna, I should say something eventually. So truly, we have to agree and ignore all of it as a 4 years of mayhem. The current administration will stay in place till March. Yes, Lori. I think I figure out how to have another vote. Agree. It's really complicated. That many people involved. Agree. So a lot of people have come to me and they were like, "How come the U.S. didn't do what Romania did?" And I'm like, "Because Romania has 20.8 million people." Fuck do you mean? They have less than 10% of the people. You could redo a vote, bro. It ain't that hard. They got far less people. Candace Owens named Stop Anti-Semites, Anti-Semite of the Year. Oh man, the hits just keep coming. They never did send their best, did they? Uh, yes, Brasher, yes. People gave up. People gave up on American politics. Dude, people gave up on a lot of shit in 2016. Like I'll never forget how people acted in 2016. People never be seen in the same room. People exposed who they really are. And unfortunately this but wait, does that though? What does that but wait, does what though? Same place still yeah. Because I think again, I think Kamala Harris won, and you got to figure out how do you prove it. Is your forensics game strong enough to undo what they did, or do you have to revote? Because that's what you have to figure, right? I think you would have a lot more communication, for the record, if all the states had certified your message from before. Thank you, Jared. Been telling them this all on TikTok. I must admit so, yeah. If you cheated and had help, is to stop getting in future office. So one of the things I can guarantee is eventually they will amend to not let you run. That's where I'm at Brasher. Being digital corruption accounts, so I can figure out the math and reverse it. See, the thought process is that Elon Musk knew that they wanted to stay out of automatic recount territory. So the thought, I think it's, correct me when I'm wrong. Excuse me. If it's within 1.5%, it's an automatic recount. And so it was like they had a 1.6 multiplier of votes. Or the value of a ballot was. Yeah, so you can prove he cheated. You may be able to reverse it and get the correct outcome. Again, I've said, hey, understand that according to the laws, those 80 bomb threats called into majority black polling locations in majority swing states um, constitutes election interference and a nullification of your election and a revote. That's what I'm saying, Brasher. I'm hoping they were as lazy as they were and they just had a 1.6 multiplier uh, of something. Whether it was ballots voting for Donald Trump are worth 1.6, or when they got the vote total, they added 1.6 to make sure that they cheated and made sure they were neck and neck, and then added 1.6% to the ballot total so that it got out of automatic recount territory in just the swing states. And keep in mind, about 1.6% is what he won by nationally. So, do you ever feel like you figured shit out right in the middle of saying it? I think they were. Take some time to prove it should say prove to the public. Yeah. That's why I've said the sooner you know, the sooner. I don't know. It's a national security issue and an international security issue, so part of me is like, don't say fucking anything until like day of type shit. Cuz you don't want to be in a situation where you let the cat out of the bag. You don't end up, you know what I mean, and you just went and did too much and it didn't get none out of it. You know what I'm saying? So, been going for about hour and 10. Okay. Got 20 more minutes here. Got 18 people in the chat. Hey, appreciate y'all. In case you didn't know, we got a Discord where we'll post links. That way you'll be able to go back and look if you need them. Okay. Yeah. Show you how to do. Here's smart elections. Understand that the split ticket theory is garbage. Okay? There's no data to suggest this. Just so we all know, nationally and historically, 0.01 to 0.03% of all ballots are split tickets. Just so everybody knows what split ticket is, that's where, let's say you voted for Kamala Harris and then started voting for fucking Republicans in your ballot, you have a split ticket, right? Or split ticket is a Democratic candidate for president and all Republicans for all other races, right? People said it was about the price of eggs. Okay, I absolutely did not happen. People, 6 to 13% of people in given precincts did not split ticket. Okay, so when you read election data and someone's theory is an exorbitant number of voters split their tickets, nope, they didn't. They didn't. That is abnormal behavior. We don't recognize that in data analytics. We don't say this behavior is so fucking crazy it's valid. We say it's so crazy because it's not real. Like, yeah, something along the lines of like 3 million uncounted votes, like millions of AP collection map wasn't updated correctly. We can confirm Harris should have won all 5 swing states. And again, people are misquoting data, and that's okay, as long as the answer to the problem's still correct. So that link I shared from Reddit, the last link I shared, one of the comments says something about I'm not buying split ticket at 6 to 13% when Dems do it 1% of the time and Republicans do it 1.9% of the time. That's not accurate. It's even less than that. It's two zeros, two places, 0.01% to 0.03% on average. And in the swing states, 3 to 7% on average for Republicans. And again, I've said, hey, there's somebody just did the fucking math, and they said this is smart elections. This is the election data that I just posted. Yeah, agree, agree. And I think everyone's vote should count. Do you know that got my live banned on TikTok? When I said I call into question the results of the election, I don't think everyone's vote counted. I think everybody's vote should count, and I got my live banned. I appealed, and we got it right back. Yeah, I agree. I'm with you, Brescher. You know, one of my theories that I don't know that we've talked about on a live. One of my theories is that, remember, the Democrats are running this election, and it's not illegal to capture votes and remove them from the electorate. And you know how they were touting this blue wave and how they felt like 60 million women were going to charge to the polling stations and change history. So I have this theory that they wanted to let the dust settle on the election and then come out and say, you know what we decided to do? You know what we decided to do? We decided to withhold every confirmed female Democrat vote and wait until the dust settled. And then now we're going to add those votes to the electorate. Here's the 20 million votes, whatever, 60 million votes nationwide. We had record voting. Here's the actual. Here's all 169.5 million. Although that's not how many people voted. Let's say it's like 155 or something. Because remember that's what they were saying is record voter turnout, record early voting, record mail-in voting, record voter turnout, and they've counted less votes than they counted in previous. Oh my god! But understand, like if they do it fast, quick, fast, in a hurry, they can't react to that. They if you drag it out, they're not gonna. That's not gonna. That's my concern. Is I'm afraid people get hurt either way. I did want to point out I was talking earlier today about um, Jessica Denson and Gothic Girl were on a podcast, and it had sparked my first post of the day where I'd said, at no point did either of you consider that this is a national and international emergency, and that may be the cause for the silence from one party and another. You know, again, I've been saying I feel like Donald Trump and his ilk have been unnaturally quiet. Exactly. Where are all those votes? Again, you don't really know. We know we're not nearly there yet. I don't know what the plan is. So here's a post that's supporting my theory. Remember how I told you my little birdie said Elon Musk was going to be the next one to go down? So somebody said, I'm going to read this Reddit post. Okay. Why, if the SEC has been investigating this man for 2 years, would they choose this week, days before the deadline, December 20th, of the report on election integrity, to threaten, lay down indictments against him and also Howard Lutnick? I don't think there's a coincidence. Hey, yes, you did, Lori. Yes, you did. I don't doubt it at all. I'm telling you, they've been calling the 4 a.m. club the result of divine feminine energy. And I recognize that an overwhelming portion of my audience is women. I recognize that. I wouldn't be on this show talking to you without the recognizing that. The people helping me, women. The people supporting me, women. Yes, Logan, you're here, buddy. And it's going to take time, right? Especially because I'm a white cis male. But yeah, what I was reading is the reemergence of media criticism, Gabri's history dictators this past week. Obama's statements falling on the same day as Hakeem Jeffries' statements about the nation needing to have patience and know the Democrats have not lost, they are not losers, and have been fighting a winning strategy. Kamala's speech at the holidays dinner in D.C. when she said she would be back after the new year because she wasn't going anywhere. The fact that Mitch McConnell continued to speak up and out against Trump's people in the Senate Dems and majority of House Dems continue to be silent on Trump's appointees, much more than they were in 2016. Warren and Sanders, AOC and Raskin, they're expected to be out and loud, but where is all the established career party line people? Where's Jack Smith? It doesn't take 6 weeks to wrap up a report he's been working on for the last 2 years with as many staff as he had. His silence speaks volumes, as does the retention of the staff working under him. Judge Chutkan has made no moves to throw out her case. She's only canceled future dates. There have been no moves to throw out the espionage case or rule in the appeal. A New York judge refuses to make any decision. The stagnation's not for nothing. I truly believe that. If Elon is indicted come Monday as a SEC threat, and that's the first card to come tumbling down. If he's not, I'm not saying all hope is lost, but if he is, so I don't know, man. Is it wrong to say I got stuff on him already? Yeah, I think you are gonna have Kamala Harris as president. Trying to find Elon. I can't find anything on Elon getting charged. I was trying to find it. Yeah, I mean that's why Justice's waiting room exists, is to give people, especially people that are having feeling some type of way. They're feeling some anxiety. Or you can just be in a room, especially be in a room with me, somebody that I'm not really sweating this stuff. I know the justice system is going to prevail. Got about 5 minutes left. Anybody's got any questions? Got about 17 people in here. Again, appreciate y'all. Thank you so much. Hey, here. Let's share. Let's go ahead and share Discord. Okay. That way I'll try to post the links I post to both. Okay. If you've got stuff you think I need to be talking about, that's a good spot to stick it in there and show links. How long we been on? About an hour, 27, 26 and a half minutes. So yeah, not a lot of news. Yeah, right at an hour and a half. Not a lot of news to report on. Okay. Um, there it is. Hey, remember I wanted to just see you. Hey, I think this is how they show that they're sitting on information. Okay? This is Bernie Sanders being asked about drones and it catches him off guard. His lips all over the place, dude. Ah! He could not help it. Okay. She said, let's see. Maru said, I don't think Jackie Singh will be releasing more. By then, I don't think it'll be out. So here's what I think. I think that when if what I think happened, she had already given that information to the feds before she ever said I'm in danger. Before she ever said I have information with NatSec consequences. She'd already given that information to the feds. She was just making sure that she had written it down somewhere. I'm not sick. There's nothing wrong with me. If I disappear, I love my kids. I'm just doing what's best for, my country. And so she'd said, oh, and yeah, we can always talk in the Discord, okay? But she'd said something about before I leave, and I replied, hopefully your time frames are off. Like you're not posting I'm in danger and you're still in your house. You're not posting I have information with NatSec consequences and you're in your office. You're not doing that shit. Especially if you worked in cybersecurity. Oh, honey, if she knew she was in danger, she was long fucking gone. She'd been living in a hotel for a week by the time she ever let the world know she was in danger. Before she ever said that she had information with NatSec consequences on it, she had delivered that payload already. She had already delivered that information. By the time she posted that information outing Artem Klyushin, they'd already processed that information as part of their investigation. That information probably got passed to every 3 and 4 letter agency Here, you need to add that to your fucking report. Here's an inner circle member of Donald Trump's that is a Russian operative that was formerly incarcerated in the United States and traded. Do you remember Whelan? Whelan? I think that was a service member that was held captive. He was traded for Klyushin. So Klyushin was a known quantity. Jackie Singh exposed him as giving orders to hire and fire people with a track record to do it. So in my eyes, while yes, what she did was drop a bombshell, I think she has more than that. I think she's got data on this election too. I think what she gave to the public, in my eyes, should have been so stunning. Stunning. Here's a new inner circle member to that fucking cadre of people that you didn't fucking know about. That is a known Russian operative who works for Vladimir Putin. And again, there's a lot of people that don't think this has any implication on the election. And that couldn't be farther from the fucking truth. Again, treason charges. Yes. Singh has a top level clearance. She dropped it with permission. And all I had said that's different than that, Brasher, is she'd already turned that homework in. The State Department already saw that before she ever let it go. And the reason that she was able to let all that information go is because it was public. Most of the damning information came from social media. So the information that she was talking about was largely public info. So let's make sure when we're talking NatSec, like, understand, like, if she didn't give permission, she would charge of treason herself. Yeah. Yeah, if you ever come across information or data that suggests national security risk, call your local FBI right away. Don't even hold on to that information. You could be charged on the time frame. You could be charged on time frames for possession. You hold on to shit for too long. It's because everybody, especially smart people, they want to see if they can get something out of it. There's always got to be something in it for me, right? I just try to share it with y'all because if I feel like if I'm not saying these things, they're not getting said. Like if I'm not seeing someone like like I said, even Jessica Denson, someone who didn't want to work for Midas Touch anymore. Is that how that went? Because they didn't want to talk about the election. But then when I listen to her talk about the election, I'm like, she's presuming that the law doesn't apply to Donald Trump before he gets in office. I know why that shit's not on Midas Touch, because it's smart shit. But again, what her stance on that is that none of the rules matter between now and his coronation. And you're just like, that's a hell of an assumption. I said, God, this is gonna be a wild week. Or be sad you ran into it because the paperwork's gonna suck. It's gonna be a wild week. Yeah, yeah. I think it's gonna be a wild week. Like I said, if you want a little glimpse into what's going on in Democrat land, look at this video of Bernie Sanders on Meet the Press where he gets asked about drones, and look at the man with the best poker face in fucking politics. Literally, like you know what I mean? Like, I'm concerned. Hee hee. You know what I mean? It's almost like he was saying, "Oh, they're absolutely running surveillance, and all the swing states looking for paramilitary groups." Yeah, it's a big flaw with Jessica Denson. I agree. Like I said, I watched the whole thing. I had captions up and I was solely listening to that young lady speak, her and Gothic Girl. And while I appreciate that their content exists, neither point in that conversation did either of those young ladies say, part of the reason Democrats aren't saying anything is because it's a matter of national and international security. Also, you should look at Executive Order 13848 and also the Prosecuting Election Crimes document and familiarize yourself, maybe as well as Brasher has, right? Because if you're not talking about those things, you're not being reticent. If you're not being candid and reticent, which means you're holding information back and you're not being truthful, how are you helping? It's like say some of the things or say all of the things. Say all of the things. One side's not playing right, why should the others? Exactly. If the right is going to be fascist, the left can become hardcore Democrats, very rule of law ish. And it's hilarious to me, the the right was supposed to be the rule of law. I just see a subsection Shibari just mentioned the EO order. Okay, that's good. At least she acknowledged it. But like I said, on December 11th, she didn't when she had that podcast. And a thing I'm willing to say is, December 11th was last Wednesday. So that Executive Order 13848 hit my desk on Sunday before. And I'm nobody, right? So I'm saying that that document was out in the public eye for a few days. Okay? Before um so see I mean, I don't know. Listen, the way I've thought about this entire time is like if I can just get on Reddit and see it because the subject doesn't get into how complicated the situation is. I'll link it when this is finished, okay? But yeah, I feel like everybody's got access to the same info. I'm not beating around any bushes. I'm going on Reddit. I'm finding sources. I'm verifying stuff. That's what I'm talking about. My subject matter. Especially if I float through a category of news and it's all the same story, well then yeah, that's our subject matter for the day, right? Um. So yeah, if I haven't said it already, if you haven't contacted the White House, if you haven't contacted your state department and tell them to look into this election. If they had 1,500 fucking voicemails, they'd be coming out and telling us. And I know that I've contacted the White House. I know I've contacted but I live in Indiana. They ain't gonna do shit. I actually think I don't know that they lost that election in Indiana, but rerun that shit now, and I guarantee you, Micah Beckwith is not that popular. I appreciate that, by the way. Hey, no, glad you're all here. We'll continue to grow too. Like I said, we've got 20 people in here now at the end of the show. So people are going to hang out all the way until the end. So it means that my audience is learning. I can't just listen to the first 15 seconds of his TikTok. I got to listen to the whole fucking thing. It's because we try to fill the whole block. It's not like I'm breathing in half of it. Good to go. So, hey, have a good rest of your day here. If you hear something, hit me up. I don't even know if I'm making a TikTok rest of the day. We'll see. But y'all have a good rest of the day, and we'll definitely talk in the Discord. Okay. All right. So again, this has been Justice's Waiting Room, and